At exactly 9:47 on January 14, 2026, a routine monitoring shift suddenly turned into a moment that would shake the Arctic. On the radar screens at Pituffik Space Base, deep in the icy waters west of Greenland, a bright red signal appeared where none should have been. A massive Russian nuclear-powered icebreaker, the Arktika, weighing over 33,000 tons, was slowly pushing through thick ice. What made this alarming was not its size, but its location. The vessel had crossed into Greenland's exclusive economic zone, sailing dangerously close to Nuuk. For NATO observers, this was more than a navigation issue. It was a deliberate signal, a calculated test of boundaries in one of the world's most sensitive regions. Danish authorities reacted immediately. Two F-35 fighter jets were scrambled from Thule Air Base with orders to identify and shadow the intruding vessel. Everything proceeded normally, until it didn't. As the jets closed to within 50 kilometers of their target, both aircraft experienced a sudden and simultaneous loss of satellite navigation signals. Russian electronic warfare systems had been activated, creating a wide jamming zone that disrupted guidance and positioning. For a brief moment, some of the most advanced fighter aircraft ever built were forced to rely solely on backup systems in one of the harshest environments on Earth. But this was only the opening move. Something far more complex was unfolding beneath the surface. Before understanding what happened next, it's important to step back and examine why Moscow chose this moment. The timing was not accidental. Early 2026 was a politically sensitive period, with uncertainty surrounding NATO funding and long-term Arctic defense plans. By creating a controlled but highly visible confrontation, Russia aimed to demonstrate capability, gather intelligence, and challenge Western assumptions. Without crossing the threshold of open conflict. The situation at sea quickly intensified. With air support compromised. What followed caught everyone off guard. Sensors on board suddenly reported an incoming underwater object. This was no surface response. From deep below, a Russian nuclear-powered attack submarine had been silently tracking events. A controlled underwater detonation occurred at a safe distance, close enough to send a clear message, but without causing catastrophic damage. The shockwave disrupted HMS Glasgow's sonar systems, temporarily stripping the vessel of its primary underwater awareness. Though the ship remained afloat, it was effectively blinded beneath the waves. The pressure mounted further when additional Russian patrol vessels appeared on the horizon. Operating under law enforcement classification, they maneuvered carefully, exploiting legal gray zones that limited NATO's response options. On the surface, movement was restricted. Underwater, detection was becoming increasingly difficult. Above, electronic interference dominated the airspace. At this point, the balance seemed to tilt. From a tactical perspective, Russia appeared to hold the advantage. But the situation had now escalated beyond a local standoff. From afar, the United States had been observing every development in real time. Determining that Allied assets had been directly endangered, Washington decided it was time to act. At Pituffik Space Base, American specialists activated a next-generation over-the-horizon radar system. Unlike traditional sensors, this system used atmospheric reflection and advanced signal processing to detect subtle disturbances far beyond the visible horizon. Despite challenging conditions and sophisticated countermeasures, analysts identified a consistent anomaly beneath the ocean surface. The data was quickly relayed through secure channels unaffected by jamming. A U.S. Navy P-8A Poseidon patrol aircraft was launched, relying on inertial navigation rather than satellite guidance. Instead of rushing into an immediate strike, the American crew executed a methodical count. When the target's position was confirmed, a demonstration of precision followed. A torpedo was guided close enough to be unmistakable, then diverted at the last moment. The message was unmistakable, detection was complete, and escape options were limited. Still, the submarine attempted evasive actions, releasing decoys and slipping toward deeper terrain. For a brief moment, the situation became chaotic as multiple false signatures appeared. But physics offered what deception could not overcome. Flying low over rough seas, the Poseidon activated its magnetic anomaly detector. The distortion in Earth's magnetic field revealed the submarine's true position. The final measure was non-destructive but decisive, an acoustic charge that disrupted onboard systems without causing lasting harm. With navigation compromised and safety risks increasing, the submarine surfaced. The appearance of a nuclear-powered vessel in contested waters ended the confrontation instantly. Supporting surface ships withdrew, and the immediate crisis came to a close. In the aftermath, all sides reassessed the encounter. Repairs were needed, lessons were learned, and strategic assumptions were challenged. The Arctic had once again proven that modern conflict is not always about open battles, but about signals, systems, and restraint. The question remains, was revealing such advanced capabilities the right choice, or did it expose too much for future encounters? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for ongoing updates on global security developments. Thank you for watching.